I wanted the whole family. I didn't just want Kody. No, I wanted everything. There's situations where a girl will come into a family and just want the guy, and it rips the family apart. I wasn't interested in that. I wanted the family. I decided when I was about 19, and I wanted to enter a plural family, wanted to enter as the third wife. I guess after you get 2 wives, guys are like, ah! And then a third wife comes along, and they actually say if you're having problems, like when you have 2 wives, when you're having problems, marry a third, because they'll even it out.
Hello everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. For those of you that have been looking for a Christine Brown appreciation video or post, this video will be for you because you will learn just how far Christine has come because of her start with Kody and her very, very, very difficult marriage and relationship, and how she found her voice. Now on the show, a lot of you have seen the evolution of Christine, although it didn't seem as though we ever saw her not having a voice. We saw her always using a voice because of her outgoing, extroverted attitude and extroverted personality. It's hard to fathom that Christine at one point in her life was meek, submissive, and afraid to rock the boat. But that's exactly how things were. And the start of her marriage was sad. And she said that on the show, and they've talked about it in the book. But I don't think people really understand why it was so sad and don't really understand where Kody was coming from. Kody admitted on the last season that he didn't love her when he got married to her. He was not attracted to her when he got married to her, and that he followed the wrong advice. He sort of alluded to all of these different things about why he made the decision to marry her, and saying that he was following the church or he was doing what he thought he was supposed to do based on their beliefs. But the truth is that Kody got dumped by someone that he wanted very badly to join his family, that he was smitten with, and he only decided to take Christine in as a last resort, as his third wife, to complete his need of having at least 3 wives to get into his celestial kingdom. And Christine spent the better part of her marriage in fear of Kody wanting and getting that other woman to come back to him. So let's dive into this topic. Before we do, can you please do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you've not yet subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button down below. If you want to get notified of any time I go live or if new content loads, make sure to click on the bell. Make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say and share this video with your friends. All right, I had a source that has known Kody since the very early 1990s. And I said a little bit about this in a video about Robyn yesterday, where I revealed that Robyn and Kody have this very bizarre relationship when it comes to their intimate time. And I mentioned in that Kody treated Christine badly. And this is going to be a further expansion of that one bite that I said in that video. So the source, who knows them, this is what they kind of shared with me. So Kody was basically in a marriage with Mary and with Janelle. And in order for them to get into the highest level of heaven in their faith, which is they follow the Apostolic United Brethren, which is a polygamist fundamentalist Mormon group, they have to have at least 3 wives. And 3 wives is sort of the minimum. And then the more wives you have, the bigger your heaven, the bigger your blessings. And the more babies you have, the bigger your blessings, all of that. So Kody was with Janelle and with Mary. And after that, he and Mary met this young girl that at the time was younger than Christine. And he and Mary courted this girl when she was still a minor. And Kody was apparently just so smitten with this girl. And Christine wrote about her in the book and basically said that this girl was very young, but very energetic and very, she just had an energy that she didn't have. And she could tell that Kody really liked this girl. She didn't like how young this girl was. And Kody and Mary entered into this sort of relationship with them while they were, at the time, probably in their 22, 23 age range. Kody kept everything on the DL. They wrote about that in the book. And they were all set to get married. Like, the wedding was set for the day she turned 18. If nothing says grooming, like, I'm just waiting for you to turn 18, there's that. And for whatever reason, this girl made the decision that she did not want to join Kody's family. She did go on to marry someone else. And although I'm trying to figure out who she is, she was from Wyoming. That's what the friend told me. So the girl that was from Wyoming was someone that Kody was really smitten with, was really someone he wanted to be with. And she just sort of broke his heart and walked away and said, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to marry you. And so Kody's like dream of his 3 wives, his harem, getting into Celestial Kingdom was kind of squashed. In the middle of all of that, Christine was always this person that was in the background, and she was so obsessed with Kody. And she's talked about this. They've written about this, so none of this should be new to you. And Kody was off-put by her, didn't like her, just wasn't really attracted to her, didn't see her as anything more than just like a friend. But because he needed his 3 wives, after he got dumped, made the decision that, okay, I'll take Christine. Now, he basically has made it sound in the book like, oh, I had this moment where I realized that I loved her. And yeah, okay. The person I talked to said that they were at the wedding reception for Kody and for Christine, and they described the whole situation as really sad. They said that Kody just didn't look very happy. Christine looked like over the moon, and like she was so in love with Kody, but Kody just wasn't present and wasn't really there. And Christine always had like the best intentions and always really liked Kody, and because she was always seeking his approval, would do anything to make Kody happy. And so when he brought her in, Christine ended up taking on a very meek role, and then Kody was apparently very cruel to her as a result. She has described that, I don't know, I think in the book he's made reference, I think they made references to the challenges that they had, and, Mary felt like they had this great relationship. As far as I know, the person that's known them forever said that Kody by far was like, if Christine would say something and everyone would like it, he would be sort of the first one to put her down for it. Another thing that they said they never understood was that Christine was actually less heavy. So like when Christine weighed less and was smaller as far as like size wise than Janelle. Not that size matters. I don't care about that. But Kody in the book referred to her as chubby. These are things that he's never said about Janelle. And the friend said Kody was not in the best shape when he first met Christine. He was no like Calvin Klein model. He gained a ton of weight when he was in his marriages. He was not the healthiest. He's probably in better shape now than he was then. And so like for him, he doesn't really have any place to talk in that respect. And then on top of that, he always said that he liked girls that had extra weight. And so it didn't make sense for him to care that she was chubby. But, and I mean that in that I don't believe she was chubby, but that was what he called her in the book. It also didn't make sense because Janelle actually was heavier than Christine, and that was never an insult he would throw her way. They said that it was a way for Kody to demean her and degrade her because he already didn't like her. So it didn't matter if she was, this is all alleged, obviously. It didn't really matter that she was thinner or had less weight on her than Janelle. he liked Janelle more because Janelle was more like a friend to him, and she was easier and she was more malleable. But Christine, he sort of married reluctantly. He married her because he had been heartbroken. He married her because he was on a rebound. And Janelle, it was more like he needed money, and Janelle provided him money, and there you go. They basically said that because of the Kody being so heartbroken about this girl that left him, Christine spent the very beginning years of their marriage literally thinking that Kody was constantly going to like get that girl, get her back, and then make Christine leave. Or that Kody would somehow replace her with that girl, or that girl would somehow come back and take her place. And it made her very insecure. Kody also would be very, they alleged, like mean to her, put her down a lot in front of people, demean her, degrade her, whereas he wouldn't treat the other wives that way. And even though Christine would do everything that he wanted. So it became like this, what they described as a very unhealthy dynamic, is like Christine was like in a world where she felt like she needed to please him no matter what he did, and nothing she could do like he set the bar at such a high level of like it was impossible for her to ever meet him. She would do everything in her power. She would take care of the kids. Like this person said, Christine was the one that if she had no food, she would still find a way to make you fed when you came over. Christine was the one with the kids. They needed a hug and they needed this or they needed that. Christine was always the one that would be there for the kids. She was always the one that would be there for a friend. She was always the one that would go the extra mile for anyone. Honestly, for those of you that are fans of the show, Christine, everyone I meet that knows her personally says only the nicest things about her. The kindness of her heart and her compassion she has for other people. But this friend says that Christine was so meek and so submissive that she spent so many years doing everything she could for Kody, and Kody was so cruel to her that it was like she lived in a state of like, they couldn't believe that Christine didn't leave a lot earlier than she did. They were shocked that she stayed as long as she did. But they were more shocked to see Christine finally find a voice, because Kody had been so cruel to Christine for years. He, insulted her. He allegedly insulted her intelligence, insulted her appearance. He made it known a lot that he was not attracted to her. He made her feel like she had to earn everything that she got from him. And he gave her scraps because he had kids with her, but apparently he didn't treat the kids of hers as well as he treated the other kids. He didn't treat her as well. It was like Christine was constantly chasing for his approval and he was never going to give it. And so when Kody's on the show pretending like they loved each other and had this sweet relationship, the friend said that's just so far from the truth. Like Kody has always treated her so terribly. And when they discuss like how Kody has treated the other wives compared to any of the other wives and her, they said by far Christine was the most like verbally abused, emotionally abused, psychologically abused, in how he just drilled down her self-esteem and self-worth. When it came to Janelle, he needed her to be like his financial worker. And so he didn't do those things to her in that same breath because he needed her to be like the worker. So he needed to have a level of respect with her. But with Christine, she was just at home to take care of the kids. So he didn't have any respect for her, allegedly. They described that Christine was, as she said on the show, whatever you need, whatever you want. And then she realized, like she said on the show, that she wasn't doing anything for her kids. So what this ended up doing was it put her in a situation where she took on all the responsibilities for all of the kids. She couldn't take care of all the kids. She was so overtaxed that the other kids had to step in and help, that Aspen had to help, and that Kody was so around so infrequently that she didn't have anyone to help her. When she asked for help, Kody wouldn't give her help because Kody didn't like Christine. Kody was still bitter that other lady left that he loved, and he had to settle for Christine to get his celestial kingdom. Christine, to them, wasn't a wife as far as the friends concerned. The way that they viewed it is Christine was a body occupying space for Kody so he could have his kingdom. And he didn't respect it or care for it or nurture it. And so when Robyn came on, they said that it was so heartbreaking for Christine, not because, you know, they loved each other and this and that. It was that Robyn was getting what she had been craving and starved of for such a long time, and she didn't have to do anything for it. Robyn didn't have to bend over and if he said jump, she would say how high. Like, Robyn could fight with him. Robyn could say no to him. Robyn could be combative with him. But if she did those things, he would punish her. So when you understand the dynamic here, her heartbreak was that she had been doing all the things that she was trained to do and taught to do by the cult and treated like trash. And Robyn stepped in and did nothing that she was supposed to do, and he loved her more. And it was because Robyn was good in the bedroom. Robyn gave him whatever sex it was. And allegedly that might be backdoor stuff. I'm just saying. I don't know. That's just what I heard. So Christine's heartbreak isn't just about, it's just that feeling of never being able to measure up. And friends literally always hoping that Christine would wake up and realize that she deserved more. So you have a friend that was there in those early days that saw how cruel Kody was to Christine. And then that same friend has been watching from afar and has seen Christine take steps to actually be empowered and like do what she needs to do to get out of it. And this friend said that they couldn't be any more proud. Like, they're so proud because the Christine that you see today is so different than the Christine they knew in the 90s and even in the earlier 2000s. That Christine has really come into her own, and that Christine will continue to come into her own and hopefully get all of those things that she wants. But because Kody has starved her so much and was so cruel to her, the friend says that they can also see Christine just sort of jumping into things because she wants things so badly, and she feels like her whole life was robbed and she wants to experience everything now. And Kody kept her so down and so controlled that she's going to probably make mistakes. And if she makes those mistakes and she jumps into things and she rushes into things, that's part of what happens when people leave these cults. And a lot of women end up in other relationships very quickly that aren't healthy. Does that mean that this guy that she's with now is like that? No. Is it possible? Sure, anything is possible. The hope for her is that that's not what happens with Christine, and that in time, when this contract ends and when Christine can actually be honest, that she uses the platform to speak out. Something we realized today is that Christine has a contract where she cannot speak negatively about polygamy as a part of their TLC contract for sister wives. So as long as she remains on the show, she has to be supportive, even if she's not living it. Maybe once the show is over, or she gets her own show, we can finally see Christine's real thoughts about polygamy. And it could also explain Christine's silence when it comes to what her kids are experiencing. The friend said if they know anything about Christine, she is not being silent to the kids about the abuse that they went through, and is probably feeling absolutely horrible and guilty for all of it. Because even though Christine was a victim of Kody, she probably feels guilty for the life that her kids led as a result of that relationship and as a result of that culture. And that's a big burden that a lot of women that leave carry. So there's probably a lot of grief that she's feeling as well right now. But Kody was cruel. And it was a cruelty that took Christine 25 plus years to wake up from. And to that I say, go Christine. Kody is a pig. Allegedly, and in my opinion. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.